Man, I can't believe Rutch makes us drive all the way out here to like the middle of nowhere. It's just like
That drive is ridiculous.
Hello?
Huh. Well, let's just go in anyway.
after you. Rutch?
I'm gonna look for him over here.
Still warm. They were just here.
Oh.
Hello? What? Doug, you're not gonna be able to make it? Doug, I'm gonna have to call you back.
Guys ready to see Halloween?
But where is Rutch?
I've been here the whole time.
This is a Tim Burton movie, right?
No,
Claymation?
that's a real pumpkin.
We're watching The Nightmare Before Christmas, right?
This is Jamie Lee Curtis's first movie.
Lonnie Hill suggests a haunted house. He said awful stuff happened there once.
Lonnie Lamb probably won't get out of the 6th grade.
I gotta go. I'll see you tonight.
Bye.
So he's running to school by himself.
I wish I had you
In 70s, yeah.
alone,
This
just
dangerous.
the two of us.
Excuse me,
Oh,
Laurie.
Mr. Bracken, I'm sorry, Mr. Bracken.
Oh, I didn't mean to startle you.
Sorry.
So he's just
You know,
standing
so we-
there
I guess everyone's
in the middle of the
entitled to
sidewalk.
Yes, sir.
She's gonna run into me. 3, 2, 1. Oh! Laurie!
I'm not afraid. Fool. I'm not. Then go in.
These kids.
He's gonna go.
Go ahead, Lonnie.
Hey! Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there.
He's so proud of himself. Now he's having a good Halloween.
Jesus.
Are you alright?
What are they doing? What's he doing just
going
going
around
around like
except kids playing pranks,
police-
trick
the
or
sheriff?
treating, parking, getting high.
Yeah, the sheriff is the.
Happy
Maybe the
place
sheriff
way
is
off
Michael
of
Myers.
this.
You have the wrong feeling.
You're not doing very much to prove me wrong.
Hey everyone, welcome to Throwback Theater. Today we watched Halloween. You probably heard about it before you ever watched it, or maybe you watched it before you ever heard about it. For most of us, this was our first viewing, and what did you guys think? Armand, what did you think about it?
Well, this is probably my 10th time watching Halloween.
Oh,
so-
congratulations. Wow.
Yeah, I really love this series of movies.
Yeah, Taylor, what did you think?
In general, actually, it was pretty intriguing. I thought it was actually kind of a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah,
First time watching it, though.
what did you think?
It was pretty basic. I mean, I don't think it didn't really draw me in that much. You didn't care about any of the characters. Like, Why should you care about any of the characters?
Was this your first time watching it?
Yeah, this is my first time watching it.
Yeah. And for me, this was my first time watching it too. And I thought it was a nice, it's like a great addition to watch to your like roster of movies at Halloween. But I don't think I would watch it every Halloween, that sort of thing. So Armand, where does this movie start off with?
Well, it starts off with a house in Illinois, Haddonfield, Illinois, and we see through the eyes of a 6-year-old who I guess was trick-or-treating, and he goes creepily up his own staircase and he murders his sister.
That really does kick off the film, and then it goes into like a sequence of two people driving a car late at night.
Where you can see absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah, you can't see anything at all. And actually this movie mentions that like a lot of the scenes are dark because they shot on such a low budget and they couldn't afford any of the lights. But so the second scene in the movie is two people driving, and it's very rainy and very blue and very dark out. And they run across a fence full of people behind it that are let loose or something like that. And then our male lead in that scene jumps out of the car to go investigate.
Dr. Loomis.
What's her name? We never see her again. Stays in the car and then gets attacked from above.
Yes.
And after that, whoever it was, I'm guessing it's Mike Myers, because the rest of the movie.
Michael Myers.
Michael!
It's not Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Doc said Michael Myers.
This is Mike Myers.
It should be the Halloween mask.
This is a Halloween mask.
No, the killer dude from Halloween.
Michael Myers hijacks the car and heads out. And then our movie really begins about 10 minutes in.
It takes place 15 years later from Michael Myers killing his sister, and Michael Myers is let loose on Halloween night.
Well, he was your patient, Doctor. Precautions weren't strong enough. You should have told somebody. I told everybody. Nobody listened. There's nothing else I can do. You can get back in there and get back on that telephone, tell him exactly who walked out of here last night, and tell him exactly where he's going.
And Dr. Loomis is like, contact the sheriff department at Haddonfield, Illinois, and they try to capture him before it's too late. He goes on a murderous rampage.
We see most of the movie, I guess, through the eyes of Jamie Lee Curtis's character.
Laurie Strode.
Yeah, this is her first movie
Yes.
that she was ever in. So
Crazy.
that was interesting to see that, because I only know her really from Freaky Friday and her other more modern attempts at filmmaking.
Couldn't recognize her without her short hair, you know.
Her short spiked gray hair. Yeah.
I was always waiting for her to like switch places with the little girl. It was just very confusing why that never actually happened. Like,
Never saw one moment where they bumped into each other.
Because it wasn't on a Friday, and it wasn't freaky.
That's Friday the 13th. I see.
Exactly.
Different movie.
Different franchise.
That would
This
be
is Halloween.
A fantastic hybrid of movies.
So I guess
Freaky Friday the 13th, Halloween.
So I guess I would say the rest of the movie really follows the path of just we're following her. She does some babysitting. Her friends do some babysitting. They're out trying to get laid, trying to get whatever with their boyfriends.
Except Laurie.
You know, you could ask somebody. Oh, I could. Sure you could. All you have to do is go up to somebody and say, you want to go to the dance? You could do that. I couldn't.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis's character
She's a girl
just as interested in babysitting and that sort of thing. So,
But she was maybe going to go to the dance. There was no closure there whether or not she goes to the dance.
I think the dance is out of the question now.
Nobody cares about the dance anymore?
No.
So, and then it gets really heated. All throughout the movie, we see Michael Myers just stalking our heroine and the...
That's him.
Yes.
He's just like,
Behind the mask.
I'm here, I'm not here, I'm here, I'm not here.
Yeah, what did you guys think about Michael Myers stalking everybody and not saying a word?
I was confused what his motive was for following anybody that he killed.
Yeah. I don't know why he got attached to Jamie Lee Curtis and the young boy from the beginning, because that happens at the moment they're at the porch and she puts the key underneath it.
Yep.
And he's in there and he's like, all right, I'm going to go after them.
Maybe just killing people.
Maybe
Maybe
but
there is no motive.
Is he
and that's
also
what
just
makes it scary.
superhuman? Is kind of a question I think we need to answer.
Yeah.
He had a needle in his neck, right?
Yes.
At one point.
At one point.
Yeah.
And then was stabbed. And then was shot multiple times.
And then got up and ran away, apparently.
Yeah.
Or disappeared. Because in the credits...
He's a teleporter.
Yeah, because in the credits he's not called Michael Myers. He's called The Shape.
The Shape.
Yes.
I didn't even notice that, actually.
Because think about it. He got shot multiple times. He got stabbed with a knitting needle. And he walked it off. Like it was nothing.
Well,
like
and
a
the
shape
doctor says at one point in the movie that, like, eventually he realized that the thing hiding behind the child's eyes wasn't human at all.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
They kind of allude to the possibility that it could be something that's inhuman in the form of Michael Myers, but otherwise, like, there wasn't closure, which there's not supposed to be with this type of movie. It's supposed to be open-ended and, horrifying.
Yeah, definitely. So that brings me up to another question is, where does this stand on that horrifying scale?
Well, I don't know, because I don't have a strong standard for slasher films. I've barely seen any of them. But I would say it did seem pretty shallow in terms of the details that are released to you, what you know about the characters, how in-depth they're going to go into the scenes. It really was a little bit ambiguous. You see maybe a scene of somebody choking, and then the next scene you're like, oh, where did that body go? And,
Yeah.
So you're saying on, like, a scale of 1 to 5 jack-lanterns in your bedroom scariness, where would we rank this? Because I'd say, like, 1. Or, like, 1 broken pumpkin.
One broken pumpkin.
One broken pumpkin.
1 dropped pumpkin from bullies. That's how
Joey,
scary it was. It wasn't scary.
Really, I think you were scared.
I think there was only one moment that one of us was scared, and that was Abby, and that was when all the deaths were being revealed, and then he, like what's his name, swung down from the ceiling.
Bob.
She's not gonna say anything or scream? Run? She's freaked.
One chin up.
Got you!
2 chin-ups.
I don't know. It's almost like they designed the movie to be suspenseful, but they spend nearly every other scene you see the guy.
Yeah. Nowadays, everyone knows that once you show the monster, no one's really scared of it anymore.
It was more about revealing his face, I think, which they do for like a split second, and you're like, wait,
At the very
it's a
end.
person! And then he's like, pull the mask back. They can't see me.
Yeah.
What's interesting is when Jamie Lee Curtis takes the mask off from Michael, that's the only time you see his face in the entire series.
Really?
It's never shown.
Because they had to get a different actor for the other movies.
That's true, but never see his face again.
Did you see the new 2018?
Yes.
And they didn't in that?
Testing, check, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. We are now at Smith's Grove Rehabilitation Facility.
We're here today to interview a patient that's spent the last 40 years in captivity. And by all accounts has not uttered a word. This monster.
What's interesting with the 2018 one, which was a sequel, because John Carpenter was like, "Now forget all these. I'm going to do a sequel now." And it takes place 40 years later, and Jamie Lee Curtis becomes like a prepper because like she's preparing for him to return like he did 40 years ago. She has like guns all around her house and barricades. It's really awesome progression of her character. But you see his face for like a brief moment or two, and it's like an old man face. He's still
Do we
around.
find out if she went to the dance, though?
So what is this big news?
What would you say if I told you that you were going to the homecoming dance tomorrow night?
I'd probably say you had the wrong number.
I just talked with Ben Tramer, and he got real excited when I told him how attracted you were to him.
Oh, Annie. Oh, you didn't. Please tell me you didn't. How could you do that?
So where would this sit on the spectrum of throwback or throwaway?
With me, starting with me.
Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Seen it 10 times. I wonder what he's going to say.
Throwback, hardcore.
Yeah.
I don't watch it all the time, but when I do, I always enjoy it.
Yeah. It feels like a cult classic, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think?
Yeah, I think I'd throw it back. I'd say, yeah, as a classic, I'd watch through probably all of them, and this is part of that.
I'm gonna have to go with the neutral because it wasn't bad. Like I didn't feel like it was terrible and deserved to be thrown away.
On Gremlins?
No. I was positive on Gremlins.
Okay.
This one I'd say is like sure, if somebody wanted to watch it, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna seek out this movie to watch again or sequels. But I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't watch it because it was a well put together movie. It's made in a different era, so there were some longer shots and slower moments that wouldn't survive in modern day movie making. No. But for what it is, kind of being a period piece, it's worth seeing.
He's on his way. You've got to believe me, officer. He is coming to Haddonfield.
So throwback, neutral. What you got?
Here we go.
I mean, I think I would throw back to this just because it's kind of fascinating to watch the film that kind of started it all. The film that really started this genre of filmmaking, and I wish I saw it back then and I didn't have my knowledge that I do now about tropes.
Okay, so what was the point of the movie though?
Honestly, if this were made nowadays and we didn't really have the tropes that we have now, I think a lot of people would go, oh, that's just a fan-made thing. Anyone can kind of make this movie.
Yeah, we can make it.
Yeah, nowadays, a lot of its themes, a lot of the things that are scary and they scare you, anyone can really do.
Yeah.
So I think the whole point of the movie was just, John Carpenter was like, all right, I want to make a movie that scares people. It has to be very cheap to make, and that was the goal. And then I think the story and the deep plots and all that are
so cheap that
the
mask of Michael Myers is William Shatner's mask that they painted white.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's our villain.
What do you think about that?
There's our villain.
So go and check out Halloween. We all think you need to at least see it once. It's pretty great, and enjoy your Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.